Hey, so hope you enjoyed the first episode. This week, temperatures have dropped, still raining. Have a little bit of a fix on this panel here. As you can see, it's broken. That was hidden under some black tape, and to be fair, I didn't really look when I picked the bike up. So I'm going to remove the two screws that hold this in place, take this off, and then see if we can repair this panel. I've got a few ideas, so we'll see which one works best, and then hopefully that will sort that out, because these panels are becoming pretty rare, and it seems a shame to, if it's repairable, to switch it for like the aftermarket panels. As cool as they are, I think it'll just be better being original. Right, I have the panel off. You can see somebody's had a sort of go at melting the plastic and putting a bit of glue and whatnot onto this. The idea is to kind of groove it a little bit and then use a aluminium mesh like this. So put the aluminium mesh in and then use an epoxy and stick it with the epoxy. So the aluminium mesh will basically bridge the gap between here and here, and then I'll epoxy one side on first, so that's set, and then do the second side once it's dried, rather than trying to balance all these things together, to keep it from going apart. So we'll do one side set, and then once that side set, we'll do the other side. Okay, it's been 24 hours, near enough. And a little trick I learned from when I was fiberglassing, doing canoeing and stuff. You stick it over with plastic, leaves a nice smooth finish. So I don't know if you can see, it's more natural light. You can see it's a nice smooth finish. And the epoxy's pretty much done its job. So now the plan is to join the other side, and then hopefully I might have to do one more layer on top of that just to give it a bit of extra strength, but hopefully that will then join these two pieces of fairing together rather than trying to replace it. So I'm going to mix up some more epoxy, stick it on there, stick it with some plastic, keep it nice and smooth, and we shall see how we get on. it to stay level, but it's a pretty close join, as you can see. Let's give it some time for the epoxy to harden a little, and then I'll do a few adjustments here and there, but overall it doesn't look too bad. Right, so it's drying a bit. You can see it's quite a nice clean join so far. I haven't taken the plastic off the other side. Just trying to let it firm up a little. Then what I think I'll do is maybe groove this a little bit and then fill it with epoxy, and then smooth it off and then paint it. But I might just see how tight it holds after I've removed the plastic, and see how much grip there has been with this aluminium mesh stuff. So we'll see. Okay, so what I did yesterday was I put another layer on and then did the same method where you use the plastic to give you a nice smooth finish. I'm about to pull the plastic off, so hopefully that will give me that nice smooth finish. Oh, that came off easy. So that's the finished repair on the inside. I mean, pretty strong. So I'm trying to still decide whether I should just groove that a little bit along that crack, and then fill that with some more firm epoxy, and then just sand it off and then spray it. But I might do that when I do a major rebuild. So, but yeah, I'm happy with how that came out. It's a pretty secure repair using the aluminium, and I used the Gorilla Grip epoxy. So yeah, it's kind of got a bit of flex in that epoxy, which is helpful, because I think if you go too rigid it'll just peel off. And yeah, looks pretty good. So next thing will be reassembling the front, because hopefully those aftermarket headlights will arrive tomorrow, and then I can fit those on, and then yeah, make a little bit of progress. But that's where we're at so far. Okay, just putting these indicator mounts back on now that everything's sprayed up. Rerouted the wiring with the little LED resistors. I haven't quite figured out where I'm going to put the resistor when I get it on, but we'll mount all these things back up, loosely put everything in place, and then see if we can get it all to work. But yeah, like I said, just gave everything a blow over, sanding, blew it over, and that should help prevent the rust forming for a while. And then once I have kind of got to the point where I'm not going to be using this bike for a while, I'll then strip it down. What I'll do is I'll just fast forward a little bit, get these brackets back on, and then put the indicators back on, and then I'll show you how I've routed the wiring. So it's kind of fits it on, but now looking at it, I don't know. I'm not 100% sold. I mean, the comparison is those ones to the new old school ones. Yeah, maybe when you compare it like that. Those big old orange things are pretty big. Well, maybe if you're bored and you feel like throwing a comment, old school or new style or old style, it's not a huge drama to change either way, but yeah, that's kind of where it's at. Okay, so bit of a dilemma. I have noticed, and if you can see down there, there is a water leak on that hose, which is right very deep, which means taking off this front cover, the belly pan, that engine mount, and then it's still a tight fit between the frame and getting that clip undone, which means really I should pull all of that off and possibly just take the engine out and do the frame, do everything, put it all back in, but that really reduces my time frame because that's a fair bit to do. Or alternatively, bust out the old 990, which is all good to go, and do the trip on that as opposed to the Africa Twin. So I'm going to pull these covers off and make a decision after that. I mean, ultimately I prefer the Africa Twin, simplicity and all that sort of stuff, but it's just whether or not I can get everything done in the time frame that I've got around all the other usual commitments of life. So I'll take off the belly pans, front covers, and then have a look at how much rust and stuff is underneath the belly pans and things, and then make a decision from there. Okay, take this plastic cover off. You need to take the hooter off, and then that basically just comes apart. Then loosen off these belly pan bolts. There's a couple on the bottom as well, and then we'll have a look when this is off. Right, belly pan off. There's a fair bit of surface rust around here. So I will need to address that anyway. Luckily its majority is just surface rust, so I can get away with sanding it all. So I'll clean this all up and then see if I can firstly get that clamp off of that side, which is tucked behind here, and then if I can, that may save me a bit of time, because like I say, all of this stuff I'd plan to do when I do a major strip down, but let me pull those brackets off and then have a look and see after that. Okay, so having looked at that and the rust and everything else, it's going to take a bit of money throwing at this bike, just to be kind of sure that I don't want to sort of waste my time going all the way to Dakar just to break down in the first bit. So what I've decided to do is to get a new battery, pop that in, see if I can get it to start, and listen to what the engine sounds like. If it sounds good, then I will pull the tank off and the exhausts and everything, and then actually pull this engine out, get new radiators, new hoses, new clamps, new everything, and then do the chassis and everything, frame, all at the same time, rather than just kind of like bodging it. But it'll take a bit of funding, and bit of time. But like I say, I've always got the KTM as a backup. So let me see if I can get it to start, and then I've got the new new fuel pump for it, so I'll stick that in, and then yeah, pick it up from there. Okay, so I just went to Halfords quick, got one of these batteries, kind of what the recommendation was. Moment of truth. Choke. Well, it runs like the guy said. Doesn't sound too bad. Check if these indicators work as well. Those are the LED indicators. Right, it sounds pretty good. That's the fuel pump clicking away there. Yeah, that's the fuel pump clicking away. It's got the bit of a clutch rattle. If I pull it in, it goes quiet. Right, so I think that warrants doing the major sort of engine pull and everything. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a challenge. It's going to put all the other nice frilly bits on hold, but I think it's worth doing. I mean, other than a bit of rust on the front, and it's pretty clean bike. So to sum up the week, sorry, the video has been a bit all crazy this week, trying to figure out what the best sort of line of attack is, you know, to do the best job with the Honda so that it's got reliability to make it through this trip. So I've decided to pull the engine, do the frame, get new radiators and hoses, put those in, clean up all of this oxidization and stuff like that. I've ordered some new wire connectors so I can sort out the regulator, and just basically do everything now. Ordered a new exhaust because the old exhaust is quite heavy, so we'll put a new one of those on, and yeah, kind of just do what I was kind of delay until a later stage, but do the majority of it now, get the bike reliable, and with that all done, you know, give it the best chance for the bike and myself to complete this challenge. So yeah, next week's going to be a busy week, a lot of unbolting and sanding and cleaning up and everything. But if you like this content from this week, then by all means subscribe to keep updated with everything. I have actually been doing some exercise as well, not paddling but a bit of hiking, so that's helped. I'm going to kind of watch my weights and see week to week, you know, the sort of progress. So dropping down from, I'm currently 127.6 kgs, so hopefully we can thin that down a little bit, which would also be good for the bike and myself. So yeah, that's the plan, and we will get cracking on next week, and then hope to sort of catch up next week. If there's any questions or anything that you have, by all means drop me a message or a comment, and I will get back to you. Till then, y'all take care.